Welcome, fellow trackers. I'm Nick Metzger, and my partner, my co-host in crime, is none other than Mr. Sean Abbott. We're so happy that you're here this week. We're so happy that we're here this week. Recording live, by the way, September 16th on a Monday, because we just like to throw things around and mess stuff up for you. 7 p.m. Hey, Sean, how's life going for you today, man?
It's been better. It has been better. I can't walk. I can't drive. So I'm pretty miserable at the moment with my physical health. But it has meant that I've got to sit down and play a lot of Xbox. So, pros, cons.
Yeah, it's always the worst when you have stuff like that go south and you're just trying to figure it out and everybody wants to know what's going on and it's just kind of like, and you just want an answer and the doctors are like, well, we're looking into it. But you know what you can do, Sean? You can podcast and you can play games. So, heck yeah. That's what I say.
Yep, I can't work, I can't walk, and I can't drive. But I can play plenty of I have literally lived my mountain biking vicarious life through Riders Republic today. I've spent all day playing Riders Republic. So,
yep. Hey, well, that sounds like a pretty good life, and I can't wait to hear more about that stuff for sure.
How's things going for you?
Oh, let me tell you. Had a soccer game this Sunday. That was cool. My not me personally, because I don't play soccer because I'd be horrible. But my daughter had her first real game. She had a pre-season tournament. I don't know, whatever. You probably heard me if you listen. You heard me talk about it a while ago. This was her first game. They lost 3-1, but she held her own. She did a good job. First time in travel soccer. So she did good, and I was proud of her. They have the county fair. The county fair's going on, Sean. It's like the biggest thing in this county in the whole wide world. We absolutely love it. So it goes on for a week. Going to take the kids. Literally most of the kids in the county were off school today so that there was not a fair day. I'm sorry. It was a teacher in service day, which just so happens to land on the fair. So yeah. I get to go on a field trip.
Somebody might have planned that.
Yeah. I get to go on a field trip with my daughter to the fair on Wednesday. Gonna go on Saturday and do more of the fun stuff. No offense to the school, but yeah. And but I can't wait. We do the whole, our county fair merges the rides with the food, with the 4-H stuff. So you can go see a pig, you can ride a pirate ship, and you can eat 75 varieties of fried things. Welcome to America, Sean. And so that's
it honestly sounds like heaven.
So
I'm there.
So that's what's going on in my world.
Cool. It sounds all about. I mean, there is some positives to my last 2 weeks. We moved Jaya into university. She's now living 100 miles away, living her best life in her uni accommodation. She seems to have settled in nicely, which is good. Lindsay's new car got delivered today, which is nice. A self-charging hybrid, which is a bit weird to use.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Excuse me. And yeah, everybody's back to school, back to work. Everything's back to normal. So it's at this point where I'd be like, oh yeah, I've got loads of freedom to go to the gym and get back out on the mountain bike and actually do some actual mountain biking. But no, I'm grounded for now.
Grounded. No wings. But you're gonna get it figured out. You're gonna be out there before you know it. I have faith.
Fingers crossed. Unless they need to replace parts of me, and I'll become a bionic man.
Yeah, but then you'll be able. Then when you do get on that bike, think of how fast you'll go. It'll be like a whole different level of Sean.
Yeah. So I think that's that. We've got the Jiggy Collector, which if I can remember is
Tyler.
Acid TKs.
Yeah, Acid
Tyler.
TK.
Yeah. So that's Tyler. He's in the chat at the moment, talking all the jiggy stuff.
Getting jiggy with it.
Yeah. I don't know if we can sing that because of copyright. But
yeah. Well, if I sing it, Sean, trust me, ain't no copyright kicking in. The AI is going to be like, I don't even know what the heck that was. So we all fine.
Oh, wow. So I think there's a little bit of housekeeping that I need to do because if anybody that follows our Twitter account will have noticed that everything has started to change. We are not at GPT Gaming News at the moment. I will have to actually go and have a look at what the at is. But we are in the middle of a kind of a branding reshuffle as a couple of things happen. But you can find most of our information at VGT Gaming News now instead of GPT Gaming News. That's where we're currently live if you're watching us on X, but it's the same across most platforms now. Everything's kind of consolidated. So the PlayStation stuff is now all mixed in with the Xbox stuff and the Game Pass stuff. And it's a good way to get all your news and stuff like that. So, but keep your eyes peeled to that because I know from our head honcho, Mr. Garrett Atkins, that there is a possibility of some decent giveaways coming soon. So keep your eyes peeled on all the social accounts, and we'll give you more information as we find out some more. If you have any thoughts or any questions, or you want to ask how you can be part of this great giveaway, you can come and join along in the public Discord. There's a link somewhere in the description in the bio, and that'll get you into the Discord where you can chat with me, you can chat with Nick, you can chat with all the other VGT members that are in there. It's a nice little place to be. It's got over 2,000 members at the moment, and people are sharing what they're playing and stuff like that. And because now it's consolidated into all in one rather than just being Xbox, there's so many different levels of people playing so many different games. It's fantastic. And if you like what you're hearing, and we'd love to hear from you and stuff like that, you can leave us a review on your go-to podcast platform of choice. That helps us grow, helps us get more noticed and stuff like that. So, and then we wouldn't be a Game Pass show if it wasn't. If we didn't go ahead and promote Xbox Game Pass itself. So if you love Game Pass, you love the show, go ahead, show your support. There is another link somewhere in the description where if you follow that link and go to the xbox.com website, you can sign up to Game Pass for whatever level you choose. And we get some of that sweet, sweet cash back as well, which is nice. It helps us grow, helps us keep going, and it funds things like this huge giveaway that'll be coming soon. So go ahead, sign up with whatever level you desire, whether that be car, standard, PC Game Pass, or Game Pass Ultimate, because there is now new layers to the cake, which we'll be talking about later on in the show. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat and show notes, and it'll help us continue to grow and make this amazing content that we like to make for you guys. So I think that's everything. I think that covers most of everything that's currently happening. There will be more news roll out as we get closer to everything being completed. But for now, let's head into the X feed.
Here we are in the X feed where we talk about our top stories, and we have 6 of them, 6 top stories today, starting with, and what? That's what happens when you don't know these things. Xbox has cut in 650 more jobs, confirms Phil Spencer in letter to employees. Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely serious. This came out literally back end of last week when we would have made a show when we were like, oh, we didn't have much news, and then you had Gremlins with the internet service provider again, and so we kind of said, look, we'll put it on hold. We'll talk next week about a few things, and unfortunately, in that time, we have had some more bad news. But these are mostly corporate and supporting functions, apparently. So
I bet Phil's on the edge of his seat. Like, do I get a pink slip? Do I not get a pink slip? Am I going to make it? Corporate jobs? Oh no, it could be me. Probably not. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it sucks. I mean, it's nice to see that it's not the devs and the people that are making the games this time, but it's still ever so sad to see that people are losing their jobs. And 650 is not like a small amount. That is a lot of people.
That is.
You wouldn't fit them in my house. So
I mean, hey, you'd be really holding out on me, Sean, if you said you could. I'll be like, dang it, I'm coming over there right now. Who's going to live there, and you're going to house me? You won't even know I'm there.
But I think the shady part of all this is that they've reportedly told people to go dark on social media in terms of not wanting the backlash that they got last time they made cuts. So it's Warren, is it Tom Warren? Yeah, Tom Warren has said that Microsoft has instructed Xbox social media accounts to go dark today amid the layoffs. It's to avoid a repeat of the Feel the Burn Xbox controller announcement during the last layoffs. I think an ill-timed controller release with the removing 650 employees and having the tagline "Feel the burn" kind of didn't go very well. So
yeah. No, that's like flags at half mast. I can actually really appreciate this. I mean, at first when you said that, I thought they had asked employees to like not talk about it, which would be a very corporate thing to do. Like, hey, we're gonna lay you off. Could you just not tell anybody? Because it's really gonna hurt our image. But this makes a lot of sense. You know, you're like, hey, listen, this is a rough day for the in-house. So yeah, let's just be in house for a little bit and not do the thing. So yeah. I can appreciate this.
I can too. It was nice of them. I mean, it'd have been nicer if they didn't have to get rid of them. There must be, and we always say this, we would absolutely love and adore somebody like Phil Spencer to come on, because not only would we ask him questions like, hey, like, can we get some more fixed dates on games that are coming soon? But like, I would honestly like to ask him, like, the business inside, like, how do you go and make the decisions? How do you make the decision on what game you want to bring to Game Pass and for how long you want to bring it to Game Pass for? And how do they make the decision of which games are going to leave? Because, you know, we've seen games that have been on Game Pass for, 2 or 3 years, and then we see a game that comes to Game Pass which is well received and quite enjoyed by many people and gets a lot of talking, for it to only disappear 6 months later. So,
that's the thing. This is why if Phil came on, it would be great. You would ask these like really poignant, great questions, and then when it's my turn, I'd be like, so what's your favorite color of jelly bean, Phil? What's your favorite flavor? Just wondering. That's the burning question inside of me, Phil. What's your favorite flavor of jelly bean?
Well, we couldn't have him on the show and not subject him to food related questions as well, because that is something that's always been a running theme for us.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
yeah. Does he know what poutine is, and does he love it? That's what I need to know. These are the things.
He probably does know what it is, and he probably does love it, because everybody should love poutine. It's basically potato and cheese with gravy on top. There's just nothing to not love about it.
It's fair. You gotta throw him some easy ones too, Sean. You can't ask him all the tough questions.
Marmite or Vegemite?
No, you're not going to get me to go down this road. You almost did it, but I'm not going to. All right, so I said 6 top stories, and we've only made it through 1. How is that possible? Number 2. Now, why is it just more bad news? The Xbox Game Pass conversion ratios have gotten worse this week. And if you're not good at math, this doesn't matter at all. But Sean's going to tell you why it does. Because I am not good at math.
So, let me get this right. If you paid, say you were a Game Pass car person and you wanted to upgrade your account to the Game Pass Ultimate account, the amount of money that you would have to pay to do that, depending on the ratio of how far through the month you are for your monthly subscription, means you would have to pay ever so slightly more, but you wouldn't have to pay the full amount. So we know that... Hi, Rex.
Never mind. Rex is taking over.
It's got a nice kiss off the nose. That's completely thrown me off. So we know that the price for Ultimate is $19.99, I believe, now in dollars, or getting too close to that. So excuse me. So if you want to go from car, which I believe is like $9.99, up to $19.99, if you were, say, like 50% the way through the month, you would only have to pay like maybe $5 more or something like that. It's like a ratio of 2 to 1. So, it used to be a ratio of 3 to 2, which kind of helped a little bit more. The maths behind it is very confusing, especially at like just gone midnight in the UK. But all it meant is that you didn't have to spend as much money to upgrade your account halfway through the month as you would do to pay for a full month to that upgrade.
So if you had 3 months of PC Game Pass and you upgraded to Game Pass Ultimate, you would end up with 2 on the old plan, right? Now, if you have 2 months, you end up with 1, which means if you had 3 before, you ended with 2, and now you end with 1.5. Like that guy that got his finger cut off. See? I did it with fingers. Did it with fingers.
Jesus. Anyway. But yeah, basically it's that you are losing out ever so slightly, and I think it's a bit sneaky at the same time as the price hike's about to go in, that they change this ratio rate to kind of stick you a little bit more, so you have to pay more sooner, which kind of sucks.
Yes, and
but it's nice that they do have that conversion rate there, because what it does mean is if you want to go and swap for a month, if you're a car member and you're like, oh, I really want to play Riders Republic because it's just come out on Game Pass and I've always wanted to play this game, you can upgrade it and like not have to pay anything. You would not have to pay as much, but you will have to pay sooner rather than later. But if you want to play the game for a month and then drop it, you can kind of like almost do it on the cheap. But you have to be pretty savvy with it and make a note of when that's happening. So.
Here's a question I have, and I don't know the answer to it, or else I probably wouldn't ask it. Does it reverse? So, like, if I have 2 months of Game Pass Ultimate and I want to go to PC Game Pass, do I get 3 months?
I'd assume so. Yeah,
I don't know.
It goes into free.
I don't know what's going on here, Sean.
Xbox Game Pass Standard and Game Pass Console conversion ratio. Any remaining time will convert to Xbox Game Pass normal time ratio of 43 and be rounded up to the next full day. For example, 90 days remaining of Xbox Game Pass Standard or Game Pass for console will convert to 68 days of Game Pass. I'm assuming that it will go the opposite way because it's only fair.
Wow. Then it's probably not true. It probably doesn't. If it's only fair, then it probably doesn't work that way. No, yeah, you would think it would. That would be great. I have like 2 years. Maybe I'll just, I think I'm down to like a year now. I have like a year of Game Pass Ultimate stacked up. I could just, revert it, and then I'd have whatever that is. I don't know. I can't do that.
What would you go to?
Well, PC Game Pass. Then I guess I don't know, and then I would have 2 to 3. So it'd be 3 to
you'd have 2 to 3. So you'd get like a year and a half rather than a year.
Yeah, well, I go to 2 to 1 because that's the new one. So yeah, I get it.
No, the PC Game Pass conversion ratio is still 3 to 2.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's why you're Sean Abbott. Good job. There it is.
I'm literally, I made notes and I'm reading. So, yeah.
Notes.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't agree that this should have happened at this point. I'm 6 months down the line after the price hike, yes. At the same time as the things are about to start changing, no. But, that's how they make more money than me.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Speaking of math, we are now halfway through the top stories. Number 3, people. Xbox new standard Game Pass tier is now available to everyone. This happened last week, so sorry. It was like bigger news last week when it just happened. But here we are. So you can get this for $10.99 if you're Sean and $14.99 if you're Nick. So there you have it.
This is true. And it entitles you to 369 tiles rather than the current 500, I think. I can't remember. I saw a graphic the other day and I should have saved it because it was quite a good graphic which told you how many games you've got on each tier. Let me see if I can find it really quickly.
That's like a game a day you can play for an entire year.
Yep. For less than buying a game. Almost. No. Yeah. Less than buying 2 games.
Yeah. No, I think I think people are mixed about this whole gig, but I'll be interested to see how people end up. I personally am staying right smack dab in the ultimate because you don't get day and date titles with this, so be a lot of missing titles that I would want to play. That'll suck me in every time.
I have found it. So Game Pass Standard gets you 370 games, which is missing the 44 day one games plus the EA Play games of 94 games. Game Pass for console, you get 508 games. Game Game Pass Core, you only get 45. PC Game Pass, you get 466. But Game Pass Ultimate seems the right way to go, because for Game Pass Ultimate, you get 508 games, but you've got instant access to all day one games, rather than Game Pass for console, which kind of you might get day one access to certain games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is a 370 games. It's a good amount of games. Good amount. I mean, you can't argue with that, but you know, just the moment you say, but not the day and date game, the moment like the guy next to you is playing the thing you want to play, but now you can't play, all of a sudden, like, no matter how many games you could get 5,000 games. The moment like that new game is out, and it's like that's the game you really want to play, but everybody that's on Game Pass Ultimate or PC Game Pass is playing it, and you can't play it, then you're like, well, this tier sucks. That's what's going to happen. Guarantee.
Yep. So you want, like, if your friend has got Game Pass Ultimate and he's and you guys play Call of Duty together, and you know Call of Duty is sick. Nice. Can I have that back? Thank you.
He's talking to Rex, by the way.
I am talking to Rex. He's just decided he's going to try and pick up a plastic bottle that was on the floor and chew that.
Rex.
You know, found root beer in my local Aldi. So yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, what was it? So yeah, you've got Game Pass Ultimate. Your friend has Game Pass Core or Standard. Xbox Game Pass is getting Call of Duty Black Ops 6 day one release. You get it with it, so you'd be able to play it. You'd be like, "Hey, look, yeah, I've got a new Call of Duty," and he's like, "Oh, I can't afford it." And it's like, "But and I don't get it with my subscription because I aren't, you know, paying as much as you." And it's like, "Well, it sucks to be you. I can play it, you can't, and you can all go and play together." But you know, yeah, that's the kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. No, totally. You're exactly right. Doesn't matter how many games you get. When the rubber meets the roads, when that day and date game that you wanted to play, that's the deal. All right, story number 4. Stalker 2 dev reveals estimated game length, praises Xbox for spectacular support, which I'm very happy to hear. So, and he says 25 to 40 hours depending on how you play. The world is 64 square kilometers. Shut the front door. Dang, that's huge.
That is a big ass game, and I like. I'm assuming that depending on how you want to play it, 25 hours basically you follow the game on rails till you finished it. 40 hours is like you kind of go, "Ooh, look, shiny things! Ooh, look, more shiny things," and you get easily distracted. Which, you know,
yeah. And if you're like me, you're like, hey, I've been playing this game for 20 hours and I haven't even beat the tutorial yet because I just keep dinking around in the same freaking area. And I'm done. I want to move on to something else.
Oh, you keep running away because, you know, it's
because it's scary.
Rumored to be a scary game,
yeah. Scary, Sean. It's scary. I don't like scary.
I can't wait for this. Honestly, it's one of the games I'm so glad that we're getting day one. So.
And here's it. See, here it is. Day and date. If you're that standard tier, I'll let you know how it is. So when you get it in 8 months, yes, suckers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. A little bit.
I'm glad. I'm glad that they're praising Xbox as well for the support, because this game has been, obviously, the developers of this game have been through a lot. They've had a lot of issues getting the game to where it's at now. So. You know, I'm glad that Xbox and Microsoft have helped them and been very supportive along the way. So,
yeah, me too. Story number 5: Star Wars Outlaws update 1.1.1.1.2. Now live on Xbox. Here are the patch notes.
So we have tweaks and improvements on some of the challenging stealth moments, which is good because some of those stealth moments freaking ridiculously difficult, especially the one in that Imperial hangar. Cross progression and saving is now available, which is great because if you're going to be playing it on several different things at once, you do not want to lose your save. Overall PC performance improvement and optimization, crash fixes, and stability improvements across all platforms. The old school cool trophy can now be unlocked on the PlayStation 5 players, so you can finally platinum the game, which is great for those people who like to chase all the trophies. The hyperspace mission is fixed, so now you can take off, and various other bug fixes affecting quest flow.
Great. I think that anything to help out the flow. I really think the big thing is tweaks and improvements on the stealth, because man, that Imperial stuff, that was tough. There were times where they were running for the alarm, and I had no idea why. Like I was not like, I had only like triggered like the things with Nyx, and I hadn't even like made myself available or to be seen. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that. So
yeah, me too. I mean, I haven't ever had an issue where they were going to sound the alarms for not knowing what I've done. 9 times out of 10, when they were sounding the alarms, it's because I've popped a stormtrooper on the head. So,
well, I mean, I did too, but I did it behind something. I mean, like, I don't know. I just thought that it seemed like some of them could see through stuff too. I was like, I'm hidden, and you seem to be like coming directly for me. So
maybe they were Jedis in disguise.
Yeah, must be. They felt the disturbance in the Force. So yeah, that's cool. I do also feel, and I know we're not in the like what we've been playing, but I do also feel like I'm about ready to get back to this game. My core keeper time is coming to an end, and I want to jump back on my what do they call that bike? My speeder.
Speeder.
Yeah, I want to jump back on my speeder. So for sure.
I will talk about how I am with the game later on, because I played a lot of it, and I'm at a point where I've drifted away. So, which I do with things like Far Cry and things like that. The repeatability of the game starts to come into focus. So.
Gotcha. All right. Story 6. That's it. The last story for this episode. PS5 versus Xbox Series X list. I agree. All right. Yeah. What is going on here? What are we talking about? Oh. Is the PS5 Pro versus Xbox Series X?
I think what we should do is we'll move that into the feature story for this week, and next week we'll be a little bit more prepared for what we originally had planned for our feature story. So we'll cut the list of 6 top stories down to 5 and move number 6 down to our feature story.
Please forgive me. I've lied to you. For the last 5 stories, there's only 5 stories, and now we're just making an amendment. This is a feature story, so let's just talk about it because we're here, and I've already talked about it. I already said a thing, so let's just do that. But okay, fine. News bulletin. Bethesda introduced its isolated, handcrafted world in a new Starfield Shattered Space deep dive, and you can go see it on their YouTube right now. All right, news bulletin. Boom. PS5 Pro versus Xbox Series X list.
Yep. So I was shocked when they announced the PS5 Pro. I didn't think it was coming. I didn't think they would be brazen enough to go ahead and release a Pro version.
Why do you say brazen enough? What do you think is the like? I mean, why?
Well, because they released the Slim, which the discless version. They released that, and I thought, oh, that's a really good idea because lower the cost of the console. Hopefully, people will buy one. That kind of thing.
Okay.
And I thought that was great. So for them to release a Pro at a £700 price mark for what isn't very much improvements in my eyes, they can play 8K games, but there isn't many 8K games out there that are available, and there's not many people in the consumer home that plays a console plugged into a TV which can handle 8K anyway.
Sure.
Or the frames per second that it's posting. So it is aimed very much at PC style players who play with 120 frames per second monitor and have a setup specifically for playing high-end console games. It seems very targeted.
Well, wait, I'm confused. It says the PS5 Pro is up to 4K at 60 hertz.
No, it'll boost to 8K.
No, okay.
I think I put a link in there for.
I'm looking at the link right now. I'm looking at the
pure Xbox one. So there are a few other things as well as the potential for 8K in gaming. Although again, it remains to be seen how many titles will actually take advantage of this.
I must have clicked the wrong link. I'm sorry, the wrong link.
Yeah. So upgrading GPU with the PS5 Pro, they're upgrading the GPUs at 60% more compute units than the current PS5 console and 28% faster memory. It's just stuff like that. Like it's overtaken the Series X on performance, but it's not overtaken the Series X on performance very much. And a lot of it is stuff that they're having to boost to like ray tracing and things like that, which the Series X already has.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're just trying to sell some extra units. There are people out there that are going to buy it, and I think that's kind of where they're.
You say that. This is a shout out to the Gaming Dads UK Facebook group that I'm in and their Discord. So many people have turned around and like scoffed at the price mark for this, like that they can't believe that it's costing this much for a console. I mean, you could go and buy a pretty decent gaming PC setup for around the £700 mark. If you really wanted to, you went out there and shopped around and bought the different bits and some stuff secondhand. You could buy a very good PC gaming rig, which would almost surpass the PS5 Pro for the same price. And I mean, obviously, there's the hassle of having to get the parts, put them together, get it to work, and get it going. But you'll be rewarded with something that would play games far quicker and far better than a console would. And that's what most of the community out there saying that I've been part of. They're like that they can't believe it. And there's been so many people putting pictures up of the PS5 with black tape across to make it look like it's got the racing stripes of the PS5 Pro already. And it's just, I don't know. I don't think it for what I've seen personally within the communities that I'm in for gaming, it's not been very well received, which makes me worry that if Xbox was to go and do something the same, would that also not be perceived the same as well? Or received the same?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I don't think they're going to, because I think they did their thing with the digital thing, and I think that's where they're gonna stand for the rest of this year. And then next year, I'm sure they'll do another thing. That said, I mean, how long? What do we do in this generation? The generations are getting longer. They're also getting murkier because of backward compatibility. Like, how long do we go before we start wondering when we're gonna see the next Xbox thing? Like, is there another Xbox thing?
I don't think so, because you've got things like TVs need to catch up. So we've now got like my TV is like a generation behind my console. Mm-hmm. My TV's it'll accept 50 hertz up to 60 hertz at 4K. My console is more than capable of pushing 120 frames a second at 4K. So my console is outdoing my TV. So for me to get the most out of my current console, I'll have to buy a new TV, which I don't want to do because there's absolutely nothing wrong with the TV I have now. So if they were to release another generation of console like the PS5 Pro that can, out of the box, it isn't having to push to do 8K. It's like out of the box, it just takes it in its stride and does 8K at 120 frames a second. I'm not going to see that benefit, so I'm not going to be bothered about buying it, because my current console can play all the games that next console is probably going to be able to play, and I've not had to spend, up to £700 to buy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I was a big proponent of I'm going to buy a digital until the prices came out, and I was like, oh, this is not the price I thought I would be paying for a digital X. So I'm not buying a digital X. So, yep, I totally get you. I'm not I have no issue, or I have no reason to get one. I also don't think I think the games are just catching up to this generation. Like, I mean, I think we've seen this generation games for like maybe the last year and a half, or at least starting to. I think these games can push this generation hardware a lot further, in my opinion, than what they currently have. I mean, like we've been saying it for this whole year almost, that just recently we see now a lot of, or at least 50-50 of like, hey, this is X and S only. When we're talking about Game Pass. Prior to this year, though, most everything's been like, yeah, it's coming to everything. You know, well, if it's coming to everything, then I mean, I know you can scale down, but still, if it's coming to everything, like, is it really pushing the generation? So I don't know. I think it's an interesting conversation about. I don't think it's as easy to talk about generations anymore, I guess is what I'm saying. It just doesn't work that way.
And like you said, it used to be simply you had the original Xbox, then you went to the 360 era, and the whole premise on the 360 era was that, you know, the console, you could play it from anywhere because you didn't need to be wired. And then the Xbox One came around, and that was a significant graphical leap for me to the Xbox One, which unfortunately the console didn't do very great because people were still like had the bad taste of the red ring of death from the Xbox 360 era. But the jump in graphics was fantastic, and then the jump in graphics from the Xbox One to Series S and X has been fantastic again in its capabilities. But like you said, the games that are coming out, I don't think are pushing the boundaries of the console. Like, I aren't seeing games like Cyberpunk when that came out on the Xbox One. It really pushed like the Xbox One graphic. Like, it could not handle it, and it was like, yeah, the game, we have now hit the milestone of where the game is outdoing the hardware. So we needed that leap to the Series S and the Series X. We haven't seen that yet. Like Star Wars Outlaws, vast game with lots of depth, lots of color, lots of really nice, you know, it's a fantasy world that you're kind of playing in, and it handles it like without missing a beat. Starfield's the same. Once like the initial bugs of Starfield had been kind of eradicated and things like that, that game just loads like pretty instantaneously. You've got no issues in rendering and stuff like that. So the games that they're making are pushing it. We've got a load of games coming out next year, like Doom in 2025, and you know, we've got games like Fable and stuff coming, which might graphically push it. Which is why we're seeing some games being delayed, because they're getting new technology which might enable them to push the graphical capabilities of the consoles a lot further, which is why we might be seeing delays like and people are wanting to make rumors for different delays and stuff like that. Like Grand Theft Auto 6 has been rumored to have been delayed, but that's been kiboshed now and it's not getting. But other games might be getting delayed because of the new technology to try and push the console's capability graphically and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then we sit here. It's very interesting. So you got the PS5 Pro coming out. You got Xbox's slate of stuff. We know there's something with Switch coming up pretty soon, announced pretty soon. We're looking for that announcement for next year to be debuted. And so, I mean, I don't know, man. The market's everywhere. Like the whole industry is just like all over the place, doing a little bit of everything. It's fun. It's exciting. I'm happy for all three of them. I think all three of them are doing a good job to knock it out of the park, give good games. Kind of starting to warm up to each other just a little bit, shake hands maybe a bit, you know, start trading stuff back and forth, maybe sometimes begrudgingly, but okay, whatever, you know. I mean, so that's the way my kids are too, you know. Sometimes I'm like, share. Noah's like, fine, just throws it over there. I'm like, okay, well, I guess you shared in your own way.
And if you were to rank the consoles as like tiers of children, in terms of like who was more open to those, like the Xbox for me is the older sibling. You know, it was happy to share.
I see.
It's happy to like pass down stuff to the other consoles, and then like the PlayStation is kind of like the middle child, which reluctantly will give things out every now and then, but is happy to take. And then the Switch is the youngest child, does not want to share, wants everything that it can get its hands on, and will do anything it can to get that to happen. So.
See, I look at it differently. That's interesting. This is okay. We're just gonna have this conversation. This is not part of anything. This is a whole nother ball game. PS5 Pro is coming out. There you go. That's feature story number 1. Now we're just having fun. I view Switch as the oldest sibling who has like the nicer stuff, and he's kind of like you say the older sibling shares. Man, I don't know. Now listen. Okay, let me say this. How many siblings do you have?
I have 1.
Okay, I have none. I have goose egg. So I only see what I see from my kids and outside and other ones. What I see is the siblings don't share. Okay, I mean, like the older sibling does not share. She's kind of like, or she, whatever. It's kind of like, listen, this is my stuff. I'm older than you. I got the cool stuff. But I do have this like. Let me think about it. I do got this half like light bright that I no longer give a crap about. So here, you can have that. And like it pushes the junk that they no longer care. That's Nintendo. Nintendo's like, hey, you guys, I got this thing I'll share with you if you want. It's a piece of junk, but it's yours if you want it because I don't like it. But all my nice stuff over here, my Marios, my Zeldas, all that stuff, my Mario Karts, all that, all that goodness. Nah, you gotta get away. This is like stuff for old kids that are cool.
Yeah.
And then
I see it the opposite way around though, because they will not share all the Nintendo. They won't share their like in-house IPs like Mario and Zelda and stuff like that. But if the game's available, like Hogwarts Legacy, to come to their console, they'll quite happily take it. You know, let's make it work. We'll make it work. I just want it. I want it. We'll make it work.
Yeah. I don't know. That was fun. I don't know. That's just kind of how I view Nintendo. It's like this older sibling that wants to keep all the cool stuff to themselves and give the trash to the younger siblings. So, anyways, there you go. That was our squirrel moment. So, anything else before we go on to the dashboard? Shoshan?
No. If you have an opinion on the PlayStation 5 Pro and you're like now listening to us and you're like, oh, well, I think he's talking a lot of crap, and that's fine. You have that opinion. I don't mind. £700 for a console seems a ridiculous amount, but I probably said something exactly the same when the Series X came out and it was like nearly $550, and I was like, no, it's not going to do it. And I now have a Series X, so consumer wins.
That's right. Capitalism, baby. There it is. Onto the dashboard. The dashboard where we talk about the games we have been playing, the games we hope to play, and Rex makes a surprise appearance and kisses Sean right in the smacker. There it is. I'm telling you, listen, if you don't watch this show for us. You come on and watch it for the cute dog that makes surprise appearances, okay? So like
surprise appearances and very, very bad smells this evening. He is doing some stinky dog trumps this evening, and it's not nice.
There it is. Yeah. Well, see, that's why you get to watch it. This is not like there's no 4D here, people. This isn't like a Disney ride where you get a scent to go along with it. So don't worry. You can still watch and get the cute dog look and not the nasty dog smell. Anyway, Sean, what have you been playing?
I'll start with stuff that I've not been playing on the Xbox console. So, I played a little bit of old school stuff on the Switch. I went back and played some Super Mario World, some Donkey Kong Country. I made good use of the NSO nice. While I was sat in the hospital yesterday, which was nice. I think I got halfway through Donkey Kong Country and maybe a couple of worlds in Super Mario World, which was nice. I like it. That's the thing I love about the Switch is like I could take it with me as long as I had internet. It could shake hands, and because I hadn't switched the Switch on for a while, so I needed to shake hands with something to say I was allowed to play it. Luckily, the hospital had free Wi-Fi, which would work with the Switch, which was nice. So then and for the 5.5 hours that I waited in the emergency department, I played some games, which was cool. So that was that.
Nice.
And then because it's been a busy weekend of, packing the kids off because we were going to a ball, trying to go to a ball, but ended up with a knee the size of Calcutta. And then I was spending all day yesterday in hospital. I've spent all of today trying to catch up on the games that come out on Game Pass to play, only to find myself playing Riders Republic all day. And I literally must have started playing it at about 8:30 this morning, and I still haven't finished playing it. It's currently sat there telling me that my controller is automatically disconnected because I put it down and left it alone. So yeah, I've played a lot of that. I'm enjoying it. I purchased the game when it first came out, and I didn't enjoy it that much because I think they tried to ram so much in it at once.
Gotcha.
And now because they've had some time with the game to kind of develop it and string things around, I'm enjoying it more now than I did previous. I've done all the bike racing events, so there's 32 of those in total. I've been through and tried a couple of others to see what I like. I am not a big fan of any of the the air ones, which is like a rocket wing and squirrel suit. I find them extremely difficult and frustrating to do. But I know I'm going to have to do them at some point if I want to do all the events in the game. So now I've gone to like the downhill skiing events, which is quite fun.
Nice.
So, and I love they've added first person view. So like I did all the downhill mountain biking in first person view, like, and was quite literally living my best life, pretending it was me actually riding the bikes.
Now, so I thought this was a thing where you could all the people could race in one space and they'd all be doing different like types of.
So yeah, it is a constant online thing.
Okay.
The map is absolutely huge, and as you're like kind of doing a race, some other people might cross your path who are not doing a race and stuff like that. And then in between the races, you've got like a complete free roam to do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't understand this.
There is people like shooting. Some people shoot past you in one of the rocket wings. And at the same time, somebody might jump over you on a snowmobile while you're on a set of skis. And like you look in the distance and there's people parachuting, and it's bedlam. It's absolutely bedlam. But it's a lot of fun. They've added skateboarding to it as well, which I gave that a try and found it very difficult at first because the control scheme's not what I'm used to for skate simulating games. But
okay, but you get into a race with like a set amount of people at some point to race down a hill.
Yeah, so all the career style races, you can do them as solo, which is what I've done. I've done all of them as solo, and you're racing the ghosts of people.
Oh, okay.
But there is like the ability to do it multiplayer. So if loads of people are doing that same race at the same time as you can do it. But then like every 15 minutes, they have a mass race.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and it goes out to everybody that's online, and all you have to do is get to the start point within like 5 minutes, and then which you can fast travel to because they give you the location. You can hang around there until the race starts, and then it is just a mass online multiplayer race of whatever event they've chosen at that point.
Okay. And can you ride any vehicle in those?
They usually kind of put a restriction on this. It's going to be like this kind of race.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Which is a hindrance for likes of me who I haven't unlocked like the higher tiers of each vehicle. So the further you get through a set of events, like you can get different, like the bikes have different attributes. Some are quicker than others, some have got more grip, some allow you to do tricks better than others and stuff like that. So
gotcha. Very cool. Anything else? NSO, Rider Republic?
Nothing else with those. With Outlaws, I have got to a point like I do with most games like that, where you kind of like having to go to an area, speak to the people, unlock the missions, do the missions, go to the area, speak to the people. It kind of got to that point for me a little bit, and I was like, fell off it a little bit. So I went to kind of free roaming around, but there's only so much free roaming around you can do because I've like pissed off all the pikes and upset the Imperial.
Oh my gosh.
Imperials so much that like I'm now getting shot on sight and things like that. So it's a bit like,
can't you fly up into the sky and clear your record? Hack into one of those things and clear your record?
Yeah, you can do that, but if my reputation with the pikes is so poor that like they will literally try and kill me on sight.
Oh well, why are you pissing so many people off, Sean? I mean, come on, man.
It's because I'm an outlaw.
You gotta like pull the strings. Like one goes up and the other goes. Oh, it gets them go down a little bit.
I tried to put Crimson Dawn have like they have the better gear and they have the better merchant prices and better merchants in general than Over the Pikes. So I was trying to favor them quite a lot, and then I realized that the huts can kind of get involved, and it's very difficult to try and balance everybody to get them all good. So some do suffer, and unfortunately, the Pikes is the one reputation that seems to have suffered the most. So.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. I guess I'll get into that. And anything else before I jump in?
Nope. You feel free to tell us all your stories.
So, I don't have many stories to be honest. But I do. I've been playing a ton of stuff, but I do want to get back to Outlaws. I started up Core Keeper, and I kind of got sucked into that. It becomes a crafty dungeon crawler. So what more do you need to know, really? And so I'm about 4 bosses in. I absolutely love the game. If you like crafting and you like dungeon crawling, then there you go. That's all you really need to know. But I will say there becomes a lot of like, they're all, you're just trying to find the bosses, and they do help you find them. And so I beat 3 and I kind of thought, okay, well 3, what happens after that? Then it unlocked 8 more. So I was like, okay, all right. I don't know that I got the stomach to do this 8 more times. So I do want to beat the Hive Mother because she's a creepy MF, and so I wanna finish off the Hive Mother before I call it good. And I think I'm pretty close to her. So I need to get some carts in there because the freaking little larva things keep eating my torches, so that's a problem. And so I'm gonna try to figure out and beat the Hive Mother, and then probably gonna put down Core Keeper for a little bit and go back to Outlaws, because that's what I want to do. And like I said, Core Keeper is the only thing I've been playing. Well, I'm playing Minecraft again with my kiddos because they go in spurts with that. So either Minecraft or Minecraft Dungeons. My daughter gets a little frustrated with Minecraft Dungeons, and she's like, "Let's just play Minecraft. This is dumb." So
is that are you back to playing Minecraft on the Xbox with them, or is it like cross-platforming between the Switches and the Xbox?
No. This is everybody on the Switch. Which let me tell you, that Switch is having trouble. We have built that world out a lot, and I think that Switch is like, okay, hold on, where's everybody at? I can do this. Just give me a little bit more brain power.
Sounds like me trying to get up the stairs at the moment.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there are times where I'm running, and then all of a sudden, like, I get to where I know it should open up into the big cave area, and it's just like a big white space, and I'm like, okay, I'll give you a second, and then it's like, and there it is, and I'm like, okay, thanks, Switch, thanks for catching up. So
I've introduced Logan and Emily to the fact that now Jaya has moved to uni. She left her Xbox. She didn't take it with her. So one can play Minecraft in one room and the other can play Minecraft in the other room, but they can play it together on 2 separate TVs. And that blew Logan's mind the other day. He was like, because he got so used to playing it in the split screen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now instead of arguing next to each other over the split screen, they now shout at each other from one room to the other.
I love it.
Especially when Logan keeps trying to steal all of Emily's axolotls.
To be honest, I really should do this. I mean, because we're playing it 4 ways. So, like, let me tell you, we're playing it 4 ways on a 50-inch TV. So I don't know the math because that's hard, but that's small. Like, literally, there are times...
12.5 inches.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. 12.5 inches. There are times where I get up and, like, my wife will be like, Noah, get away from the TV. I'm like, babe, you got to give him a little bit of a break. Like those letters are small. Okay. So yeah, sometimes you'll see me up there too being like, what do I got to do? What is that symbol? I can barely see it. So I should probably look into if we can break away. I can be on the Xbox for free. We got one. I think I just need to buy one more Minecraft deal to get them. Yeah.
I mean, they used to play it sat next to each other on the Switch Lite because that's how it would work. But obviously the battery dies on the Switch Lights quite quickly, so they don't get decent. So like after an hour and a half, which I know is a long time for kids to be playing a game, but when we're chilling out and it's the weekend and we're like, I'm trying to get stuff done and Mum's trying to get stuff done, we kind of let them have, as long as all the homework and everything's done, it's kind of like, yep.
Hey, you don't got to explain it to me. I get it, man.
No, I don't have to explain it to you, but I have to explain it to everybody else that's going to listen to this, and they think, God damn it, Sean, you're a shit parent. But no, like, it's for me, Minecraft's educational, so I don't mind them playing it. They're building stuff, and like, Logan's like getting a grasp of redstone and making circuits. So I'm happy for that. I'm happy for him to be putting some logic into stuff rather than him just aimlessly watching people play Minecraft on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'd rather not go through that.
Yeah. God forbid you just watch random people talk about crap on YouTube.
Hi. The one thing is though, with this is different. Like, when he's watching people, I don't know how he does it. Like, he'll be sat there and he'll be eating his toast sometimes in the morning, and he's watching something, and like I can hear the person on YouTube on the YouTube videos talking, and I'm like, do I sound like that when we do the podcast? And I'm like, hey, you guys, today we're gonna. I'm like, no, we do not. We do not sound like that. But yeah,
that's funny. That was a good justification.
I lived through it. Thing is, though, I lived through it with Jay. Jay went through that phase, and then Emily's been through that phase, and now Logan's going through that phase. I've been through it twice already, and I don't going for it a third time. It's just hard.
I get it. All right. So really, that's it. Just Minecraft and Core Keeper, and now I want to play Outlaws, and that's about all I got for this. So, listen, I'd make a big stink about the Game Pass headlines, but Sean already talked about the fact that Riders Republic came out on the 11th. And tomorrow, congratulations, folks, you can play Train Sim World 5, which there's 4 others out there. So you probably already know what it is, and you can play it everywhere. You can play it as of tomorrow.
Yep, you fill your boots. And I talk about the stuff that's leaving, but it's out of date because everything's already left, and we haven't yet had the new placard of games. I'm expecting that, with today being a Tuesday, to drop. So keep your eyes peeled on the VGT Gaming News page, because it will be all over that as soon as we know what's dropped. And there'll also be a new placard of games that are coming soon, which we'll talk about in the next episode.
That is true. That should be coming real soon. Every time I've talked about this before, but every time I like get an alert and I'm like, oh, new games. So then I go to our site and I'm like, hey, maybe they. Oh no, they did it. No. Oh, they did it an hour ago. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, sure. Social media is always on it, man. You want to know what happens right away? Go to our social media. They know about it. Like, I feel like I have all the notifications clicked, and yet somehow it's like, oh, they knew about it an hour and a half ago. Okay, that's good. That's why I do what I do, and they do what they do. There you go.
Yeah, they are very much on the ball. So huge. As always, we say this every very huge thanks to those for this kind of stuff. So, yeah,
for sure. So that is the Game Pass headlines. Okay.
Very quick whistle stop tour of that. Sorry.
That's right. Oh, whistle stop tour with Train Sim World. I don't know if you did it on purpose, but man, that was good. Way to bring it together. I mean, just like synergy, Sean. Synergy.
It was coupled, well coupled.
That's right. Yeah.
There's another one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good job. All right. Well, why don't you take us out of here like a train car, Sean?
Whoop whoop! Everybody jump on the caboose. We're out of here. No, we don't have anything events-wise coming up, but we will be soon adding small little snippets of reviews that our team have done of games that are coming out or have come out in the very, very near future. Because that's something else that we have a journalistic team that like to get hold of games. They do reviews and stuff like that. They are great to go and read. I think there's currently one out for Outlaws at the moment out there. But in the future, we will be having snippets on. And we're going to try and get some of those people that have done those reviews to join us so they can talk through the games and they can talk through the reviews as well and share their opinions. Lots of new stuff coming in the future. So keep your eyes peeled on the VGT Gaming News and here, of course, a Game Pass Tracker Show. But yeah, so if you want to get hold of me, you want to get hold of Nick, you can do. We're both on X. I am Sean _Abbott and Nick is Nick Tendo. That's 10DOH. You can get us on the main channel, which is now VGT Gaming News. And if you do have any questions, any suggestions, and you don't want to go for the social media route, you can email us at show@gamepasstracker.com. Just to get that again, it is show@gamepasstracker.com. Thank you very much for everybody for listening, and thank you very much for people that have joined in the chat this evening. It's been great to hear from you. So thank you very much. Keep tuning in, keep gaming, keep tracking, and we shall see you next time.
See you later, guys.